Hey friends, welcome back. I'm Mary and this is The Painted Peach. Today I'm in a playlist collaboration with a common canvas nativity painting challenge. If you like what you see today, I hope you'll subscribe, hit that bell, give me a like and a share. Today I'm starting with a thrifted item. I got it for $3.99 and it was originally $80. I of course got it to redo, so I'm going to tear the back of this off and we're going to use the canvas inside as our canvas for our painting today. Everyone was put into a wheel and drawn for which part of the nativity that they were going to create, and I was the angel. So today I'm going to be creating an angel for you to be a part of this nativity. I just started off by tearing the back paper off, and then I just got my tweezers and my jewelry scissors whatever those things are, to tear out the staples that were holding it in. Once I did that, then I just pull my canvas out and we are ready to paint. I used a mixture of vintage white and almond latte to create my background, and I'm going to be using a sponge to do that. I'm going to add a little bit of the tan and the white onto my sponge, and then I'm going to dab it all over the canvas to make my background. That other color that I put out there is terracotta white, and I'm going to be using that a little later. This sponge is from the Dollar Tree. It comes in a pack of a lot, and I've been using them to make some textures and use them to just paint big backgrounds. I'm just doing a dabbing motion. I have my white on one side, my almond latte on the other side, and I'm just trying to get a non-solid background. Once I do that, I make sure that all the little gunky things are off of there and I give it a good dry. Now I'm getting out some pinks. I don't know which color pinks these are. I forgot to look, but I'm going to be using these two pinks, and then I'll be adding in a darker metallic pink in just a bit, and we're going to create the angel's dress. This angel was inspired by one that I've seen on Pinterest, and I will be using a Bible verse that was on that angel as well. I do not remember the name of the artist, but it was very inspiring and I just had to recreate it. Of course, mine looks nothing like hers, but I like to be inspired, and I think that people love to inspire, so I hope that I'm doing justice to what she created. Now that I have my dress created, I need to make a angel head. So I'm getting out some of this darker tan color and I am creating the head. I don't want it to match up to my background there. I'm just seeing to make sure that it's going to show through my frame. And I will do some shading around with the darker color so that it will stand out from the background. I do end up adding some more color into my background, but for right now I wanted this head to really pop since I'm using pretty much the same colors. Now I'm just taking my white terracotta and I am creating the wings. Now her wings are not going to be lifted up behind her, they're just going to lay down beside her, and we're going to add in some textures and different shadings. We're even going to add in some different colors into her wings as well. When I paint, I like to use my hands, my fingers. I'll use textures. I like to use things besides paint. We'll be using some spackle today, and I just think I'm more of a mixed media, I guess you could say, kind of painter. And most of the time I paint by looking at something. Today I just did this out of my memory of what I had seen, and I think I really made it the way I would envision it to be, so I'm pretty proud of it. Now I'm just taking a tan color, more of an off-white, and going into those wings and adding some shadowing in there. We're just going to keep working on those wings until we get them how we want them, and drying them in between so that we don't just blend. Now, while that dries, we're going to work on her halo. We're not going to do a typical halo. This angel's going to have a flower halo. So we're starting out with a darker green. I think this is true green. And we're making the vine that goes around. And then we're going to come in with a lighter green to add in some highlights. And we're just going to make some cute little flowers going around. We're going to use a Uniball pen to create some baby's breath in there and different things like that. I'll just let you watch the flowers and I'll be back.
Children laughing in the snow, chubby cheeks in a rosy glow. Silver bells ring clear and bright underneath the starry night. Candy canes and gingerbread, hanging lights above their head. Stockings hung by fireplace, tiny hands so full of grace. Jingle jolly joy we sing, round the tree we dance in ring.
You'll see me using these little tools. These, I'm just like making little scratch marks in there just to give it some dimension. And I'm also using the end of a paintbrush to make some little yellow flowers, just different textures, and I really like the way it turned out. I do end up adding some more flowers behind her head, but for now this is how we finish this one up. Right now I'm adding a little bit of shadowing because her face was just blending too much, so I've just added a little bit of a darker shadow around the edges and under that flower headband or halo. Now I'm using my finger to add spackle. So I have a big jug of spackle and I just dig my finger in there and use my finger as a tool to add the textures onto the wings. I keep adding different textures and different things to the wings until I get them how I want. Right now I'm mixing in a gold metallic with some spackle and I'm adding that to the background. I will be building this background up as we go. I'm not going to do it all at one time because I want each layer to dry really well in between. Here is where I decided I wanted to add that darker pink. It is a metallic folk art paint, and I wanted to add that in for some shadowing. I do end up working with this dress a whole lot, and by the end it doesn't look anything like it does right now, I don't think anyway, but I do really enjoy layering the colors and trying to get them looking as realistically shadowed as possible. Now I'm just adding in some more color to the background while I wait for the dress to dry a bit. And I use my heat tool in between because, you know, I'm doing a video, but if I was to be painting this, I would probably let it dry in between on its own. Right now I have gotten some blue metallic and I'm adding that into my background as well. I wanted to add in a little bit of blue for the sky, but also keep it kind of neutral back there. So I picked a lighter blue and I really like how it added some color to my picture and brought out that angel a little bit more. Then I go back in and add a little bit more of that gold back into it. It's just all about layering until you get it to look the way you want it to. Now I'm just taking my finger and adding some blue more around the head because I felt like there was too much brown around there and I wanted it to blend a little better. Now I'm coming in with this holographic paint from Folk Art, and it's just a clear holographic glitter. So when it goes on, it looks white, but when it dries clear, and it's just glitter on your project. So I put that all over the wings and all over the dress, and I do add it to the dress several times because I end up painting over it and all that. So I do end up adding it a few more times, and then I add it one more time to the wings as well. Now I'm grabbing out this glaze. It is some furniture glaze, and I thought I wanted to add this to the wings to add a little bit of shadowing. So what I did is I put it on there and then I wiped it back, and then I used my dry brush to go back over it with the white. And what this did was add an underlying shadow to my wings, so it made it look more feathery. And I really, really love how that turned out, and I'm glad that I decided to do it. I was a little scared, but I just jumped in and tried it for the shadowing. Typically what you would do was start dark with your wings and then build up lighter and lighter so that you had the shadowing underneath. But I started light, so I needed to add my shadowing in another way. So I really like how that turned out. Now I'm just using some Distress Oxide to make the cheeks. I do decide that's not bright enough for me, and I get out some real blush in just a few minutes and I add that to the cheeks also. I'm getting out some black, and I'm using the end of my paintbrush to make 2 little dots for the eyes, and that's all we're going to do for her little face. I like simplistic, and I think she's super adorable, so that's what I chose. And I'm just going around the edges with a little bit of Distress Oxide for shadowing, and then on her chin as well. There's where I added my regular blush, and her cheeks are standing out so much better with the regular blush. I'm cleaning up all that paint because I keep getting it on the back of my board. Messy, but that is a glass table, so I'm able to clean up very easily. All right, now I have a little saying that I want to put on here. I struggle with this. I first start using black, then I forgot a whole sentence. So I had to go back, paint over it, and keep going. But in the end, I really like the way it turned out, and I hope that you do too. I put Psalms 91 on there, and I think that it was the perfect little Bible verse to put on our angel. I end up using the Uniball white pen to put the words on. I thought the white stood out a lot better than the black. And the Uniball is like a gel pen, so you have to be really careful and try not to smear it. Make sure it's good and dry. And if you go over it with water, you're probably going to smear it anyway. Here is where I add some more of that holographic paint from Folk Art because I felt like I had painted over all of the glitter that I had put on there. So this is where I need to be really careful because those words will smear. I really should have done this underneath, but I did smear a few of them and went back over them and fixed it. I'd like to take this time to remind you that this is a playlist, and you can find that link in my description. and I hope that you'll check out everybody in the Nativity Challenge today. Also, if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a thing. Here I am going over the florals on the head with some of Nicole Pro Sparkle Junkies gel glitter. I added that to the wings and the florals up top and kind of put it around her head a little bit just so she could be glowing. Here I'm adding a little bit more white into my background. I thought it needed some brightening up. And the only thing left to do is to add it back to my frame, staple it in, and here it is all finished up. I absolutely love her, and I hope that you do as well. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I hope you'll come back next time. We'll be doing some gingerbread. Thanks for joining, and stay peachy.